I did have to grind just a little bit on a couple of these. Not much though, just a couple of them. There we go. That's what I meant. That's why I left just a little bit of a lip on there. I got a little close down here, but that's okay. I think I'll grind the paint off of this too, and then so I can tack weld it all the way around. Alright, so there that is. I don't know if that does any good, having those motors mounted in a bucket or not, whether that kind of helps to concentrate that water or what. I've seen them in buckets and I've seen them out, so I don't know which works better, but I think I'd rather have it in a bucket, just keep ice from hitting the blade or whatever. It's not a very strong motor anyway. Honestly, I really don't expect very much out of this thing. I'm just kind of doing it for fun. I doubt it'll do much at all. It'll move the water, and that's probably about it. It'll open a little bit of a hole in the ice, I expect, but that'll be about it. I am going to take this all back apart again, just so I can paint it all up and everything, make it look nice. I haven't even actually put the shaft in there very tight yet. That's why it's moving around. So, and of course I'll be cutting this off somewhere around up in here. I don't need all that length. So I guess it's on to building the frame for now. I don't know if you can get a new propeller for this or not. Probably a bigger propeller would probably move a little bit more water too. I'd have to check into that, I guess. But so far, I haven't put a penny into this. So, like I said, it's just for fun anyway. So, I will eventually have to buy something probably for the frame. I don't think I have enough metal for it. I do have some. But I think probably just a pipe or something I should have to buy. Maybe a 8-foot or 10-foot pipe or something. We'll see. I'm not even sure how I'm going to build it yet. But anyway, that'll be the next part. Alright, I measured our square tubing here. 17 inches, so we're going to whack it off. Alright, for the frame, I'm just going to use this 1.5-inch angle. It's just an old bed frame that is just one side, and I think I can get everything I need as far as the frame for, or at least that part of it, not the legs, but the rest of it right out of there. So that's what we're going to cut up. I've already measured one of them. I need two of them 22 inches and one 17 inches. got the frame clamped together. It's all square. I'm not going to get real fancy with cutting 45s on here or whatever. I just laid it on top of that square pipe there, and I'm just going to do the same on this one right here, and we'll weld it up. I should have probably sanded it first, got that paint off of there, but anyway, we'll get it welded up. Alright, well, I got it welded. Everything's square and everything, not without some difficulty. My welder wasn't working quite right. It wouldn't feed the wires like a damn comedy routine. Every time I'd look at it and squeeze the trigger, it'd come through fine, and I'd go to weld and it wouldn't work. But we got her done. We'll do a little grinding, make them look pretty. Make sure there's no sharp edges to cut anybody. But anyway, that's where we're at so far. Alright, ground all this, my welds down. I didn't do a whole bunch, just with my angle grinder, just to kind of round the edges a little bit so there's no sharp edges cut anybody. My welds weren't too bad, so, and I don't care how pretty it is. Just trying to cut it down to where it doesn't have any sharp edges. See what the bucket looks like. Clears it all right. That ought to be perfect. I had to make this little deal right here. The tilt thing was broken. I didn't know that at first, but anyway, I didn't show any of that or didn't record any of that. But anyway, works now. This right here is just an old drawer knob. I'll sand all that down so it's not shiny. Okay folks, so I went and bought some gas pipe, 10 foot long, 1/2 inch diameter, inside diameter, and that's the only thing I've had to buy so far, and I cannot remember how much it was now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to use for my legs. So 10 feet, that's 120 feet. I'm going to cut that into 4 26 inches, and then I'll have a little bit left over, and I can use that for kind of the to weld down on the legs coming off this way for little stepping things. And to attach this to the sides, I just cut 6-inch pieces of this angle, and I think that'll work all right. So I will just, let's see. Weld this on the side right here. Now it's not perfect because this right here is not, this weld here, gonna see that kind of rocks just a little bit. It's not completely perfectly flush. So when I put this on here, a little closer for you. When I put this on here, I'm going to have to kind of just pull that out just a little bit, and weld it out a little bit, and that'll be just fine. I'm actually going to, when I cut these, I'm going to put just a little something back there, maybe a little piece of sheet metal or something, just so it's not so tight. I don't want a guy having to fight with the thing, but anyway, so that'll be flush right there, and we'll put some lockdown deals here, little T-handle things. So anyway, I'm going to get to cutting that. This is again from the bed rail that I had. So you know, there isn't, I would have gotten pipe if there had been any where this would have fit right in. I would have gotten that just because it would have been easier, but none of it does that. Well, I think like, well, I don't recall. It was like inch diameter and maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. That does work. But these sizes, these smaller sizes, the next size pipe, it doesn't. It'll fit, but it's a lot of slack in it. And I didn't like that. So I'm going to use the portable bandsaw to cut this one because measurements are so tight that chop saw kind of cuts out about 1/8 of an inch each time, and I was kind of wanting my little steps that I'm going to end up with for pressing this down into the dirt. I want it to be pretty close. So let's see if I can use this and maybe I can cut it fairly straight. Mark, I cannot tell. Nope, there's my mark right there. Just to make sure. Yep. About 1/4 inch long. That will work. so here's my idea. I've just got that flush down to the table here, and I cut me just a little piece of sheet metal to go in between this pipe. And like I said, that kind of rocks around because you know, the plane from here to here, this sticks out just a little bit more. So we got a little bit of a gap here and a little bit of gap over here. But you know, like I say, I'll put this piece of sheet metal in there, and that should be just enough slack to be able to slide it through, but not too sloppy. I do need to, on the back side here, I do need to drill the holes, and so I can put my bolt in there to be able to tighten that down. So I got to do that to all 4 of those first before I do this, but I just kind of wanted to see how this fit. Looks like it's going to work pretty good. Alright, here it is. I got the angles welded on the corners, and of course the nuts welded on there too. Got my bolts right there. I still need to put my handles on. I've got some bolts I'm going to sacrifice. I'll cut them up for some handles. Anyway, that's basically what it looks like. I still have to put in my little steps down here, but weld those on. So I'm going to cut these bolts and get them welded onto the thing. grinded away the paint on these both sides so I can weld and have them clamped in the vise. I'm going to go ahead and weld those up, my little steps for my legs. So get those welded up, and that'll be about the last thing until I get the wire. Got those 4 welded. Okay, so here we are so far. Got my little steps welded in there. Got my T-handles in. They work good. I will eventually, like I said, take this all apart and paint it. And I am going to cut this off somewhere around in here, I guess. I'm not going to do it now because I'll have to take that pipe out of there. And I'm waiting for wire. The guy that I do most of my goose and duck hunting with actually does a lot of wiring and stuff, and he might be able to get me some for free or cheap at least. So I'm kind of waiting on him. And when I do, then and the reason I'm kind of you know, I'll just do it all at once as far as that wire, because when I do it, I'm going to cut it off, and when I join the 2 wires together, I want it to be down inside the pipe, and then I will silicone it, you know, pump it full of silicone so the water can't get down in there. So I'm just going to wait till I get that wire before I do the rest of it. But here it is so far. Works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, I don't expect it to do much. It's probably won't do hardly anything at all, but I think that's pretty sweet right there, to be able to move that like that so easy. I've seen some that have a little metal bracket and they have to pull a pin and you know, pull it out and adjust it and put it on a different hole, and that's just so much easier. Look at that, I can do it with one hand just that quick. Anyway, I guess the next thing will be the wire. Okay, well, we got our wire. Got some blue and orange wire, 50 feet of each. So that ought to work pretty good. I don't remember what gauge he said the wire was, but anyway, ought to work. So next thing I need to do is cut the bar down here. I don't know the length, I'm just going to kind of guess down here. I also got this little handle here I found. I thought it'd be kind of nice to put it on here, a little handle. I don't know, somewhere around here, I guess.